there's two different Wall Streets.
Yep,
Maybe there's more than two, right? But
absolutely.
the one that I rail on constantly is the one that I'm going to call it the Edward Jones Wall Street.
Yep,
And I'm just going to pick on them because nobody with money would actually ever put their money with Edward Jones. Okay. Because what you're basically getting is American funds, and then you're going to pay a fee to have them kind of oversee your American funds, and you can call American funds and get the exact same thing. So without the fee, but
yeah,
but it's this idea of people, and I'm going to say I'm going to put people in three different categories. I'm going to put people in kind of common income,
yep,
uncommon income,
yeah,
and then ultra wealthy. Okay,
yeah,
those and I'm kind of just making this up as I go, but this is
sure,
just from my experience, what I see. And I think there's different strategies for those different levels or those different pools of people. But the people that are in that lower one, let's talk about that first. They're
sure.
told to put their money in a 401k, put their money in mutual funds, dollar cost average, buy and hold. They don't really know what's going on in their investments. They watch the S&P and they watch the Dow, but they don't really know what that means. And so talk about the pitfalls or some of the things that really aren't happening that people think are happening there.
Yeah, sure. I think the problem is, unfortunately, those folks at the bottom don't really get much guidance. I have a 401k at Rutgers, and fortunately, I have a pretty extensive background in finance, so I can figure it out. But there's literally nobody that I could pick up the phone and chat with and say, "Hey, is this better than another thing?" So that's really the challenge that they're up against. My advice always is the 401k IRA, that's really more of like a backup plan. It's happening for you regardless, so you don't even have to think about it. It's like a set it and forget it. But obviously with inflation and just life in general, everything's more expensive. College is more expensive, living expenses are more. So the idea that you're going to save today's dollars and they're going to be able to support you for tomorrow is not really super clear. So what I always recommend is use the 401k and your IRA, max that out. But you really have to focus outside of that if you want to be 100% secure. And that brings us to those other two levels that you discussed. And the interesting thing is that top level, very little of their money is actually invested in the stock market. Most of it is businesses, private
Hey,
assets, and real estate.